Hi folks, welcome to Carl's Vaping Reviews once again. Welcome to the video. Now, apologies for my voice and everything beforehand. I've been quite ill recently. That's why there's a bit of a gap between my last video and this one. So I've got a few reviews sort of piling up on me at the moment now. So I'm just trying to get through them as quickly as possible without missing stuff, if you know what I mean. Now, I've got a review now for a rebuildable tank atomizer. Yes, it's not a sub-ohm tank. This was sent on to me by Steve at angelfiremods.co.uk, and that's where it's available from for the price of £27.99 plus postage, obviously. And this is the EPoch D1. There's the box. There's the attic. We'll go down for close-ups and have a look at it close up. Now, this is EhPro's authentic rebuildable tank atomizer, and it's made from stainless steel, glass and Dalrin. The Dalrin is the top cap, and it comes with two top caps. We'll show you that in the box when we go close up. It has a couple of innovative features, one being that it's top fill, and it has juice control, controllable from externally on the atomizer, which you turn the top cap, which we'll show on close-ups. It's a 22mm device, like I said, and it has airflow, adjustable airflow on the bottom as well. Right, so we're cutting out all the spiel and all that lot. We'll dive straight down and have a look close up at the device. Okay guys, here we are close up with the EhPro EPoch D1. Nice black box. It's a slidey out box. Just a few bits and pieces on the back. The cautions are self-explanatory, and who it's made by, etc. CE markings. There is a QR code with a security code there as well that you can check for. Underneath my finger, mine is, and then the EPoch D1 SS, which is the model. You can check for authenticity of the device. Each one of these devices has a serial number as well on the base of the device. So we'll slide it open, and then it's a lift open lid, and then in here, let's just take autofocus off. There we go. In here we get a user manual, which is, let's put this down. It's got pictures as well as written instruction, etc. It's quite a decent manual, to be honest. We get a screwdriver, the double-ended ones with a Phillips and a flathead, keyring style. A shed load of O-rings and some spare screws in there for the deck. There's a lot of O-rings in there because this has a lot of O-rings on it as well. And then there's another drip tip adapter top cap, and I'll show you what that's for in a minute. And then we've got the atomizer, so we'll put that to one side. So so that's what you get in the package for spares, which is plus the instruction manual. So I can put these to one side for a second. That's that there. And then what we've got here now is the atomizer itself. Let's just zoom in a little bit more. So we just see the writing. Where's the writing now? There. So I just want to see the writing so I can just make sure the focus is right for you. So start from the bottom. It says designed by EhPro, and my serial number for this device is 1292. It has a copper 510 with an insulator in it. I'll show you that in a minute. And then we have a airflow ring which stops there when it's fully open, or you can have it as much or open or close as you want. and then it closes off, and then it's got to stop it. It doesn't go any further, it doesn't keep spinning round, it stops. And then we've got a glass tank here in the centre, and then we have another stainless steel top cap here underneath with the EhPro on. Just zoom in because it's done really nicely, the engraving on there. Show you there. EPoch, little e, capital P, D1. And then as you can see on the drip tip, it's got little hex, it's like hexagonal, has little flat spots on it. That's because this is your juice flow. I'll just show you this now. Take the top cap off, it just pulls off, and then in there you'll see that there's a just get my pointer, my little pointer, where's it gone? See you. You see it now, it has this cut out here, flat edge. This is because of that. And what happens when you marry them two together, you have to sort of look at where the lock is, and then there's no moniker on the chimney, so you can't really see it moving, opening and shutting. You have to sort of you can see it a bit more when you've got juice in, but you can see it moving. So what you do is you twist the top cap to do the juice flow up and down, because it turns the internal chimney here. We'll show you that in a second. Just going to break it down now. That's the top cap. Let's put my rag on there, that's it. And then what we do is we can unscrew the top here, which is the top of the tank. That unscrews. This does come down into quite a few pieces. Your tank slides off. Now when you slide the tank on and off, be very careful of this O-ring here. It's really thin O-ring, and when you're putting the tank on as well, if you don't twist it on, you've got to twist it on like that. You just push it on, it can get caught and start coming off, or even snap, or even breaking. It's really sensitive O-ring, that one. And obviously keep an eye on all these O-rings. There's a lot on this device when you're washing it out, etc. Now the only thing this is missing, so this tank comes away now from the base. There's some knurling on the bottom here. Needs some knurling somewhere. There's a little bit on the airflow ring, but it is hard to get it off, especially when you first get it. So you've got to twist and twist, and these edges are really sharp, so be careful of your fingers. These are sharp, these edges, because I don't like, if you're trying to untwist it with this glass on, this glass just spins on there. So you need to take your glass off first, and then that's your tank section. So when it's built up, slide your glass on, make sure your O-rings are in correctly, and then you screw this bit onto the top, so this becomes your tank section now. So that's your tank section, like so, and your threaded part is at the bottom, and some threaded part, you push on part for the top cap is at the top, like so. So that's your tank section, theoretically. This is your internal section now. Now when you're, as you can see the top of this chimney here, when your drip tip is on here, or the drip tip adapter, I'll show you how this works, like so. This turns the chimney, as you can see. So this is undoing this juice flow here, which is letting juice to flow to the deck, because it hasn't got channels as such built into the sides of the deck. It's more of a K-Fun 4 type juice flow. So that comes off now. But if you see in there, your juice flow goes in here. The more you open that chimney up with the drip tip, the more it opens up the juice flow here. So as the juice flow goes up on these two channels here, and then it's got these little valves where your wicks sit. This is why it's probably one of the easiest builds and easiest to wick. You don't have to start faffing around with, do I put wick in the channels, do I not put wick in the channels? All you do is you put your cotton through, which I'll show you in a minute, straight through, and you drop it, your cotton ends, into these little 4 valves which have got holes in, and that's where your juice flow comes up up the sides here, and then up through these little holes here. And it says a much easier build because you've got separate holes for on your positive post. It's a T post negative, a T post positive post in the middle, and then 2 outer negative posts. So, but it says a dual coil build, but it needs dual coil build because of the offset air holes. As you can see, they're not central, they're offset on the deck, and they're also risen to aid any juice flow going down the air holes. As you can see, it's there's no bends in the coils or anything because it's the air holes are to one side, if you know what I mean. They're to one side rather than slap bang in the middle of the deck. And you've got to start moving your coils over towards the centre post, even further over then, to go over the air holes. And you've got this O-ring here. This is the one that's tight really. When you put your tank back on, you got to put some juice around there, or just wet it slightly, because it does. If you don't wet it, it's a right pig to get this tank back on. It is quite stiff. So there's your chimney section, stroke juice flow control. Nicely machined. All parts of this are really nicely machined. So also what comes off here is, if you slide it up for cleaning purposes, your airflow ring comes off. We have 2 airflow slots in it. Excuse me. This provides airflow through the deck, through the base of the deck, and up through here, and even further. This copper pin needs to be tight. It does need to be tight. Now, obviously, it's adjustable, but we take that out, and then what happens then is we can unscrew. That's how much it strips down. There's your insulator in there, and these are your airflow pipes, which are to provide airflow for the coils. Obviously the pipes sit in the base of the deck there, and airflow comes in through there, travels around inside this base, and then up these pipes. And this has an O-ring on as well, as you can see. So we'll screw that back together so it's tight, and then we'll put our copper 510 back in. I mean, it is theoretically a adjustable 510, but because of the way this works with the juice flow in that, and you're unscrewing, if that's loose, this deck sometimes unscrews with the chimney. So I would tend to have that screwed up tight, and I just tweak it up with just a flathead or something. Just make sure it's tight. So that's that. Oops. So we'll put the airflow. The airflow ring has a stopper. That stopper is a little Phillips screw, and on the airflow ring you have a little indentation. So if you can see that there in the ring, that goes over where that screw is, like so, and then it just clips on. There's no ring making the resistance there for the for the turning of the ring. And what we'll do now is we'll just I'll just stick it on my I'll just coil it. I've got some cotton here. Let's just get some. Let's go back into autofocus. Got some cotton here, and I pull the two outer edges off this Japanese cotton. I'm just going to cut a length about 5mm wide, something like that. I've called this this is around about 0.5 ohms using 26 gauge cancel around a 2mm drill bit or coil master bit. And I hate this autofocus. Let's just get that's better. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, it uses very little cotton. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll one end up. I may have to pull some off this actually. I might have to cut it down again. Let's just cut it down again. Down in half again. That should do for both your coils. That will do for both your coils now. I'm using slightly thinner diameter than I'm used to on this. This one strip will do. These two strips will do for, you know, a couple of builds. So just have it. I have it sort of just tight enough so as you can pull it both ways, but not overly tight in the so you don't strangulate the coils. And I cut it off level with the deck, like so. Like so. You can mess around with it and play around with it after, but you want very little legs wise. Just want enough to either side to go down. There's my thing on. Just want enough to go down. It's hard to do this on camera. Down into the deck. Obviously do it when it's wet. So what I'll do is I'll wet it up with a little bit of liquid I'm going to use. I'm going to use some Campbell Crack from Cornish Liquids. Wet the cotton up. I can always cut it after. I was wetting the cotton and then cutting it up after. And then what you need to do is when it's wet, sorry if I go off camera slightly when I'm doing it, I'm just trying to, all you need to do is feed it into these little wells. Feed the bottom of the wick into the little wells. That's perfect. I'll have too much on this other end. That's what you're looking for. Let me just show you there. That's what you're looking at. Let me just get the focus right. See how you're looking at it, just pouring it into these holes, like so. That's all you need to do. Just getting it into these little wells here at either side of the airflow. So we'll just come back out of touch with the. So I know I've got too much this side here, still a little bit too much, and I'm also going to trim it sort of down that way, just thin out the cotton a little bit. You need very little cotton in this for it to wick properly. And then all I'm going to do with that end is just fold it back underneath itself into the well again. You don't have to start shoving it straight into the, you know, down into the well, but hard like. It just, like so, it just drops into there, like so. Either side, you just drop either end into the wells, and then the same again on the other side. Let's go to autofocus again. Same again on the other side. Come on. So I use a bigger diameter bore coils normally than this. They're quite small for me to work with. These are right. That's better, he says. That's it, and then just pull it through till the torque's getting a bit tight. That's it. That's nice now, that is. And then just cut these raggy ends off. You can gauge how much you will need. Then wet this side up. And the liquid of choice. Obviously them ends are going to be too big, I think. Let's just try it first. And that's not too bad, that one. That one's gone in. There's not much faffing around with it really, to be honest. I'm going to trim that one up because it's a bit thick still. I'm going to trim it up down the sides a little bit. And then just trim a bit off the end. And then fold it back underneath again. And that's all there is to it. Really, that is it. And that's it wicked. That's it wicked. Just dropped into them 4 wowls, either ends of the cotton. So all you need to do then is put your chimney piece on. It sort of like pushes on a little bit. You push it on a little bit and then just try and catch the threads without cross threading it. This is the only sort of one you have to be careful of when you're threading it on, and it should turn quite easily after that. You put your chimney on like that. You might get a few juicy fingers like I have now. And then this is where you need a little tiny bit of, I don't know, liquid or whatever you've got just around them threads at the bottom there, because when you're screwing this tank on now, make sure this tank's up, screwed up tightish. The 2 rings are all your O-rings around the inside the glass are fine and aligned properly. And you're going to put this on with the ePoch D1 at the top of the chimney. Screw it down, and then this is where it needs some, on this bit here it needs some nailing. But if you put a bit of liquid on, it's not too bad, like that there. It's not too bad now. So just give it a bit of a wipe, and that's it built. And all you need to do is fill down these 2 holes here, these 2 sides here. So we'll come off autofocus while I fill it. So I'm filling it now. You've got to, this is closed, we know it's closed because we've just tightened the chimney up, and then you need to get airflow closed. And then what you're going to do is you're going to fill it up down the sides. You'll see it fill up in a sec. It only holds 2.5 mil. Like so. You can fill it till it comes to the top. Don't overfill it. You'll start seeing it coming over the top in a sec. There we go, we're up there now. Just up to the top on there now. We're up to just below, we're up to here, which is where I like to fill. You can put a bit more in if you want to, but just for review purposes and quickness. Now we'll find the alignment of the thing. Then with this top cap, just sort of ease it on gradually, like so, and then just twist it clockwise to make sure it's closed properly still. So we haven't opened the airflow at this stage. So what we'll do now, that's it all built up. We'll open it up whilst when we go back up, and we'll take a vape on it and see what it's like, and we'll have a rate it. I'll rate it and stuff. So we'll see you back up the top, guys. Alright guys, hope that close up wasn't too long for you. I thought I'd do a build with the, you know, not build as such. I thought I'd show you putting the cotton in as best I can with my sort of video camera I've got. So I've not opened it up as yet. I've just put it on my Sigali. Now obviously that build is coming out at 0.5 ohms. That build I've got in here now. So what you do is after you've filled it is you undo your airflow, and then you hold the tank, and then from the top and start unscrewing. Once it starts unscrewing, you just got to hold the tank, and you'll see your chimney moving the juice around inside. So just open it slightly for a bit, and then just take a vape on it. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Forgot that at 27 watts, 3.7 volts, 0.5 ohms. So I've got this set at 27 watts. And I've got a 70-30 juice in here, so I shall need this all the way open till it stops. It has got a stop point. You'll feel it stop. That's it. That's fully open now. That is. Now, if you've turned the valve, if you turn the top cap and turn the chimney and it's open after filling, if you get a little bit of gurgling, I have from time to time, just a little bit, just close your juice flow up and just vape it with the airflow open, obviously, until you until the gurgling goes, and then you can open the juice flow back up again. It's a bit of a learning curve with juice flow on what juice you use, what the viscosity is of the juice. Theoretically, it doesn't necessarily mean that because you've got 70% VG, it's going to be thick. Some people dilute it down to make it. Although it's 70 VG, it might be diluted down slightly, so the viscosity might be thinner than what you would call a normal 70-30 or 80-20. But it all depends on what viscosity of your juice is. And I've had no leaks with this at all. I've had a little bit of seepage, that's all, now and again, and that was when I forgot to close the airflow, close the juice flow up before I took the top cap off to fill it. That was the only time I got a bit of a seepage from the bottom here. But in normal usage, it does not leak at all. It's really, really not, and the flavour is amazing. Let's go back a bit. As you can see, stacks and stacks of vapor. The flavour's fantastic. Honestly, the flavour, it's dripper-esque. The flavour is in this. It's as it's on a par with some of my drippers I've got here. The flavour is that good. Like I said, the negative for me is that it's only 2.5 mil RTA. I would have liked it if it even it would have been the bee's knees if it was if there was an extra mil in there, made it 3.5 or 4 mil. It would have been brilliant. It would have been an excellent atty. For that reason, it has a that's quite a negative for me, because I want to take RTAs out with me, and with the I suppose I could if I sort of built it higher ohms. But I like my ohms on even on RTAs to be in and around the 1 ohm mark, 0.5 to 1 ohm mark. And with a 2.5 mil tank, I ain't going to last me long at all. It needs to be at least 3.5, 4 mil for me to sort of be able to take an RTA tank out without taking juice with me. It is a nice warm vape as well off that. Like I said, you can, if you want to change the top cap over and put the other one it comes with on, and have your own drip tip on, you can do that. So if you needed to fill this tank up now, all you do is I take it off the mod in normal circumstances. Is what you should do is you close your airflow up so it's closed, and then you close your juice flow up by turning the top cap, the Dowling drip tip top cap, until it stops. It won't go any further. Then you can pull this off and fill up, and then put it back on again, and then open your juice flow, open your airflow hole, and then open your juice flow up a bit at a time if you want when you filled it. A couple of turns at a time until you get to the point where it's fully open again, or to the point where you need it to where you think you need it to juice, flow the juice properly. But it is a stunning quality device. The major thing for me is it's only 2.5 mil. That's the major flaw for me personally, as it's only 2.5 mil. But it's like, effectively, with the flavour I'm getting from this, it's like a 2.5 mil juice capacity dripper. It really is that good flavour. It's probably, this is one of the best I've used since my K-Fun days. Genuine K-Fun, that is. Not the clones that I've had in the past, but the genuine K-Fun I bought back in 2012 at the Vape Fest. This was like, the flavour from this is really, really good. Let's say Vape Fest 2012, 2013. Lovely, lovely. So if you want one of these, guys, I've just shown you, it's the ePoch D1, $27.99 from angelfiremods.co.uk. If you can get over the fact that it's only 2.5 mil in juice capacity, the flavour is fantastic. In easy build, easy wicking. I've never had dry hit on this yet. Just push the ends of your wicks into them little walls with a little pin or a little tiny spectacle screwdriver like that, and it's perfect every time. No messing around. Do I have wick in the channels or not, or how much cotton do I need there? You need enough cotton in there to drop down and drop into the walls. End of. There's no faffing around with do I need bit in the juice channels and that side or not on that side or whatever. None of that faffing around. So that's a top feature for me. Juice flow works fantastic. There's no it wicks. It's wicking now. As you can see it now, it's wicking now. The bubbles just come up there as you're sitting here. It works with the high VG juices because of the juice intake system, how it is, with having no channels to sort of try and seep its way through, if you know what I mean. It flows across the deck and up the channels as you vape. Works on a suction basis. So yeah, it's a fantastic atomizer. I won't waffle on too much more. Excellent bit of kit for the money. Whether it's as good as the Billow V2 that's due out sort of now, I'll have to pit it up against that. There might be a bit of quite a few versus wars going on YouTube with this and the Billow. But this is a really good dripper if somebody wants flavour or lots of flavour, should I say, because it does put. I've tasted juices in this that I've got, and I've picked out different things. It's really that good for flavour, and the vapor's good off it as well. The only thing before we go is, as you can see, the airflow slots are wide open. I can just about lung hit it because I'm more of a lung hitter now. I do lung inhales now rather than mouth to lung, and it's just about, I have to sort of streamline it a bit really. They're not as wide as I would like it to be. It's not as airy as I would like it to be, but for an RTA you can't really have it too airy, else it's not going to pull the juice up. So it's a good compromise really, but it's not as airy as I would like. But I do every now and again I streamline it so I can get the lung hit I need. That's just a normal lung hit with it. But it's a fantastic device. Thanks again, Steve at angelfiremods.co.uk for sending this on to me for review. $27.99, like I've said. If you want to get in touch with me, guys, leave comments on what I've shown you today. I'm sorry it was a longer one, a longer review, but it's quite an in-depth atomizer, quite a few parts to it and stuff. Make sure you don't lose your O-rings off it. Quite a few O-rings on it when you're washing it out and stuff. Yeah, if you want to contact me, guys, contact me on the AAEC forum. Richo71 is the avatar, or my Facebook, Twitter, everything else is up on my YouTube channel. Comments you can leave underneath. Any bad comments or stupid comments will be deleted. So don't make stupid comments or unhelpful comments. And thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in our next review. Thanks.